Their hard work fuels the country's economic growth. Their lands bear the fruit that pays for the country's bills.
Farmers dear, me a disika ebra wo man no, but aban no kwaso sesi.
And yet, they have very little to show for it.
The people, when you talk to them, you realize that they are highly disappointed. That even if the oil is not being extracted in the community, at least it's in their coast, and they also need to benefit.
My brothers and sisters, as we celebrate, let's ponder over the responsibilities that we have to assume. Let's ponder over what we have to do to help Mother Ghana build a better Ghana that we shall be proud of.
December 2010 at Takrade's Jubilee Park, pomp and pageantry celebrating the dawn of a new era. On this day, Ghana turned on the taps for its first oil. Optimism and hope about what this newfound wealth would do to the Ghanaian people, especially those closest to the resource.
Let us remember that those of us living now are trustees for the future generation. What are we going to leave the future generation?
It was thought that this would mark a turnaround in the provision of basic services in health, education, and infrastructure. Since the pouring of first oil 8 years ago, around $4 billion has been raked in according to government's own figures. Ghana, a country blessed with gold, oil, manganese, bauxite, timber, and more. But the people on whose lands these resources are exploited continue to live in poverty. My name is Justice Baidoo, and in this program for JoyNews, I would be in the heart of one of Ghana's most resource-endowed regions, the Western region, to find out how a resource-rich land continues to be the home of some of the country's poorest and most deprived. I am making a journey to Cape 3 Points. This is the geographical reference point for Ghana's Jubilee oil fields. This is Ghana's southernmost part, lying some 50 kilometers away from Ghana's oil epicenter. Day by day, the people of Cape 3 Points just count the number of helicopters that fly above their heads onto the fields.
People keep talking about Cape 3 Points as the oil city. There is no money here, but if you drive here from wherever you are, all you see is poverty. Because there is nothing here, many of the young people have gone into illegal mining.
Life is basic here. Many of the people in Cape 3 Points are mainly into farming and fishing.
Every day they tell us the crude oil is drilled in the sea, but they don't respect those of us by the seashore.
Fish catch has largely been held back since oil production began 7 years ago, according to locals here. And yet, like many resource-rich communities in Ghana, Cape 3 Points is still struggling. Crucial services like healthcare hardly work here. The suffering here go beyond words, but no one feels it more than the women.
They
said they are drilling the oil off the shores of Cape 3 Points. But look at our roads alone. Now we are locked up in this town. We can't go anywhere. Now we have to endure twice of this travel time from what we used to. How can we be close to the oil and be like this?
Awon Yaba is 24 years and is 9 months into her second pregnancy. Pregnancy scans have shown she would give birth to twins and so would need to have a cesarean section according to doctors.
I cough. My pregnancy is taking a toll on me. The doctor advised that I frequent the hospital so I can be monitored. But because the road went bad, I haven't been able to go to the hospital again.
The closest health facility to Cape 3 Point is 20 kilometers from here. Cape 3 Point has always been a difficult town to live in. So bad were things that once upon a time, women in labor were transported in canoes over the sea to give birth.
When things get worse, our only alternative here is traveling by the sea. Sometimes you can arrive safely, other times you will die on the way. If you can't risk, you have to sit here with your labor pains and wait for the car to come back.
Awon Yaba's mother saw her little sister drown at sea while in a canoe being transported on the sea to deliver in a nearby town 5 years ago.
It was around 5:30 at dawn. We heard loud calls in the town that a woman who was in labor and being transported to the next community to deliver had fallen into the sea. It was when I got out that I saw that it was my sister. Her husband was able to bring her out from the water. She came out to deliver, but she died later.
Princess. Always no nature by 5:30 and none we. My sister ban or there because I would say
As for this, it's a problem because as for labor, when it starts, there's nothing stopping it. So you can't get a car. It's either you deliver or die.
Na we so entum nwe o de wu na wu
3 years ago, a group of volunteers built a chips compound for the Cape 3 Point community. But the center is heavily under-resourced.
As I speak to you, we have only 2 cars in the community. And most of the times what really happens is that early in the morning, the 2 cars would set off from Cape 3 Point to Nkwanta. And when these cars move out from the morning, I mean, you wouldn't get any car in the community again. So from the hours of, let's say, 6 o'clock, because the first car moves out at exactly 5:30. Then 6 o'clock, the second car also moves out. So from 6 o'clock up to, let's say, 1 o'clock, there wouldn't be any car. And interestingly, there is not even a private car in this community. So within these hours, if something should pop up, let's say a case that needs to be referred out, it's very, very difficult for us to manage our way through to this group hospital.
The clinic serves about 5,000 people in Cape 3 Point and other surrounding villages.
They have been abandoned, they have been neglected. I mean, they vote, yet they don't get anything. Even today, as I speak to you, they have 2 boreholes here. One has spoiled. It's only one that the entire community are depending on. If you should go there right now and see how people are struggling just to get water to drink, it's an eyesore. The people, when you talk to them, you realize that they are highly disappointed. That even if the oil is not being extracted in the community, at least it's in their coast, and they also need to benefit.
Awonyaba's date for delivery is due, and I've arranged to follow her to deliver. It's the height of the rainy season, and the roads leading to Cape 3 Point is at its worst. It's a difficult journey even for people who are not pregnant. So for Awonyaba, a woman in labor, it is dangerous. Awonyaba is a victim of years of poor investment into Ghana's health system. As it stands, the country only has less than 100 ambulances for a population of nearly 30 million people. We have been traveling for over 2 hours. The journey has been excruciating.
We just have to manage our way through. There is nothing that we can do again. All what we can do is to just be in the car till the car reaches this hospital, that we alight and the doctor will be able to attend to it. And this is how we always manage our way to this hospital. It's been very hectic, it's been very tired. I mean, we can see. You can see for yourself. So this is how mothers, this is how children, this is how everybody in Cape 3 Point, this is how they normally endure whenever there is a referral to this school hospital. This is the hassle that we go through before we can reach this school.
The car we are traveling cannot make it to the town that has a hospital.
So we are now done with the first part of our journey. It's taking us up to about 2 hours to get here, and just have a look at my face and my shoes, the feet of the women, and I'm not even pregnant yet.
And so we have to change into a taxi. After nearly 6 hours at the Disco Hospital, it turns out the cesarean session cannot be done here because the machines at the hospital's theater 2 aren't working. It had to take another 2.5-hour journey to the regional capital, Sekondi, to have it done. Awonyaba was lucky and delivered her twins, but many other women in Ghana aren't. For every 100,000 Ghanaian women who go into labor, 350 still die while giving birth. Before oil, cocoa has always been Ghana's largest income earner. The northern part of the western region produces the most of the country's nearly 1 million tons of annual cocoa. And yet, like Cape 3 Point and the communities that produce the oil, they too continue to bear the brunt of underdevelopment. I have come to Nkwanta, a town in the Draboso district. Here, cocoa growing is the biggest employer, with hundreds of livelihoods depending on it.
We grow a lot of cocoa here. Assuming we have more than 1,500 cocoa farmers in this village alone, So imagine if each one is producing 30 bags each in a year, multiply that by 1,500. It's a whole lot, yet we do not get anything back.
Now the time is 1,500.
Emmanuel Oti is in her late 50s and has been farming cocoa here since 1987. He earns around 5,000 cedis a year from his cocoa harvest. From that, he struggles to put his 5 children through school.
Farmers dear, yai ni ya disika ebre wo man no, but aban no kwaso say sisi yai. Cocoa price.
As for cocoa farmers, we are the ones whose work fuel the country. But if you look at the amount that it is sold on the world market and the price that government gives us, then it's not fair. They use our money to pay government workers. I can say the government is cheating us.
Joshua Na is a cocoa buyer who works in Nkwanta. He has been in this business for over 10 years.
Apart from say about 2 abano mobile campaign,
We are always complaining. The people who are supposed to solve our problems only deceive us. We only produce the cocoa, but we can't do anything with it. Take the Cocoa Board Scholarship, for example. We only hear about it. Every year, they come and tell us, the farmers, to apply. But go around and ask all the farmers in this community. No one has ever benefited before.
We have one money being a vehicle. So scholarship we are okay. Yetini din wa ha. Ba say we have one be hu adikoro no. Yeni ma adikoro.
The situation has put a lot of farmers off. In fact, most of them are leaving the cocoa farming business.
Getting cocoa ready for the export market is a tedious job requiring many hands and investment. But these men and women endure the back-breaking venture. I have come to one of the farms where harvesting is ongoing. Here I meet Ebenezer Tete, a third-generation cocoa farmer.
Baby bi wo ho a ese ka kokra kofa kuku ebia ne medie ya ye to agu hoi kra hwe baby a ye free aye ko hata kuku yi so afuo na na da hoi.
It affects us a lot. There are places that are far from the market, and yet there are no roads. Look at where my farm is. We have to walk and carry the cocoa bags on our shoulders. Because the roads are bad, no car wants to come here.
Last time I met here, I made train say petrol pipe no hu twa. Bra me bre ya ansana me kopɛ rubber bi a me de chichire ya ansana me tumi eto aso. Adwuma ni nyina ye ne na we ya ye boy a wo hu no say ye fa no wanwan. Ne te wo bɛte no wanwan. Ne sisa wo bɛ sisa no wanwan no aboa no group. Wo wi a ya san atwe abegu aboye. So hu wo ye wi ya ye boy ye fa no wanwan sa.
The cocoa job is a tedious one. Not meant for one person. You have to harvest it one by one, crack them open one by one, and do everything one by one. It is not a one-man's job. You need to spend on laborers, the people to crack, those who would carry. By the time you are done, you lose everything.
Funny pa back so obetima wa a day 25 Ghana cedis. To funny pa bear for 100 Ghana. So bin so sa nipa for no muntumi ntinwie ti se the next day mo san beto aso nti wo be wie no omo mbe boaboa no be charge wo omo mbe so agu aboye ti se de ye so wo be charge wo omo mbe tu be charge wo be wie no na chese ska na nyina ko.
JJ Nkwanta is one of hundreds, probably thousands of farming communities hidden in large swaths of cocoa farmland this side of Ghana. The history has it that then President J.J. Rawlings in the early 90s flew a helicopter to this village. Now, so popular was he and his government then that villagers here
decided to name their community JJ Nkwanta. That probably is their only claim to fame. Despite the huge amount of cocoa that moves out of this community almost on a daily basis, poverty is what stares you every corner you go in this area. Just take a look at this primary school. It goes only up to primary 6. It's the only school in this community of about 1,000 people. Now, when children are done here, they will now have to make a 10-kilometer walk to the nearest community where they will then be able to access junior high school education. It's almost as if life is non-existent in JJ Nkwanta.
This is the school that is serving more than 5 cocoa growing communities in this district. A lot of schools in this district are like this. Ghana bags in excess of 1 billion cedis every year from the sale of cocoa. It is on the backs of these people that the country gets its cocoa money. The government of President Mahama invested heavily in the Cocoa Roads project, which sought to improve on the road network of cocoa communities like JJ Nkwanta. The project sought to invest about 1.6 billion cedis for roads in these areas alone. That went a long way in rehabilitating many of these roads, but it was woefully inadequate. The new government has put that project on hold until a value for money audit is done. The new NPP government wants to decentralize infrastructure spending to the district level, but its one constituency, $1 million initiative is yet to start more than a year into office. As the benefits of the country's resources fail to trickle down to the people who produce the most of the wealth, inequalities would continue to fester. The people at the heart of this economic boom keep watching and waiting that someday, somehow, they would have a bite at the so-called national cake. For Hotline, my name is Justice Baidoo.